Hi, it's Gerry here in the Lawyer's Video Studio, and today we're going to be talking about the state of affairs for attorney video in the year 2010. In 2 words, it stinks. Why does it stink? Because attorneys still don't understand the concept of creating compelling content that's going to get a viewer to pick up the phone and call. That's the whole goal. You know, 4 years ago, when attorneys were really just starting to learn about attorney video and put stuff out online, video companies would tell these attorneys, we're going to create an intro video for you, and then we want you to tell the world about your credentials. Well, what good did that do? You know what? Nobody cared where you went to school, whether you were on moot court or whether you were on law review. Why not? Because they were going online to look for an attorney to solve their problem. And by you telling them about all of your great credentials, didn't establish how you were different than anybody else. And that was unbelievable. Now, over the years, I've lectured, I've written about it, I've put out videos that explain why viewers don't care about you and why they don't care where you went to school. The only thing that they care about is listening to the birds sing and watching the coconut. No, that's not the only thing. The only thing they care about is wondering whether you can solve their legal problem. And when you give them content that answers that question without giving them legal advice, who do you think is much more likely to get that call? You or your competitor? Now let's go back for a few years. Remember, back when attorneys started creating video, what did they put out there? They put out things that their video production companies would tell them to do. They charge a fortune, thousands and thousands of dollars just for one intro video that would usually be on your homepage. Guess what? Those videos were not going up onto YouTube or any of the video sharing sites. Well, slowly but surely, those videos made their way out there, and now the quality of attorney video has improved dramatically. That's an incredible thing. Years ago, you had standard definition video. Now we have high definition video. Years ago, we had pixelated webcams that you couldn't see anything clearly. Now we have webcams that are in high definition, but I still don't recommend using them. So what's different? Well, it used to be 4 or 5 years ago, if you wanted to create video, you had to have some type of professional style camera, or at least a good quality video camera. Now we have the flip camera. Push the red record button and you're all set. You have a Kodak ZI-8. You have these little handy cameras. But there are still a lot of attorneys out there who are doing video on their own who still don't understand and have not yet mastered the basic techniques necessary for creating great quality video. Well, why is that important? The whole purpose and goal of creating important video, the whole purpose of creating this type of video is to make the techniques transparent. Your goal is to make your content shine through so that your viewer doesn't see anything about what you're doing with your techniques. Look where I'm shooting video now. I'm shooting video in the Bahamas. I'm in the Caribbean. I've got a beautiful background, beach. I've got the nice settings. I've got natural light. I'm wearing a wireless lavalier microphone, and I'm hoping that the wind noise does not interfere much with what I'm trying to tell you. That's the goal. Your goal is to create content so that viewers focus only on the content and now are able to distinguish you from your competitors based on the content. There are still so many attorneys who try to do video on their own who have not yet mastered lighting concepts, or the fact that they have to use microphones so that they get crystal clear audio. You know, everybody understands now you can use high definition video, and it's remarkably different from what it was a few years ago. Let's say you're shooting video in the shadows. You now have to switch to manual and manipulate the settings so that you shine and are totally illuminated. The whole goal is to create video that people want to watch. And when you compete outdoors and shoot video like I am on vacation, you have to understand these challenges and how to do something about them. Otherwise, your viewer will get turned away because your technique is not good enough. And they will not have the benefit of listening to your content. And so you'll lose out. Now, there are still video production companies out there who entice lawyers to compete with those construction trucks. No, there are still companies out there who still tell lawyers to create content that viewers don't want to watch. And I get calls from attorneys all the time who tell me, Gerry, I created all these videos with different companies and I just don't get it. I'm not getting calls. Can you help me? Tell me what's wrong. There's some video production companies who tell these attorneys not to worry, we're going to create great quality video, and importantly, we can track and find out exactly where these people came from, what page they were on. We can find out how long they watched your video, when they left your video, and where they went after watching your video. And to those attorneys, I tell them, you've just wasted a lot of money. Why? Because I don't care about any of those video metrics. They're not important, and they shouldn't be important to you or anybody else. Why not? You're creating content for one purpose only, to get that phone to ring, to get somebody to send an email to you. And if your videos are lacking and fail to do that, I don't care what your metrics are. The only metrics that you should be worried about is whether that video has compelled a viewer to pick up the phone and call you to ask you questions and then set up an appointment to come in and meet with you. That is the only metric you should ever be worried about. So if you hear from a video production company who tells you, hey, you know what? We track all these things, well, that's nice, but do you track the most important thing? Whether they viewed my video and now they pick up the phone to call. That's the whole key. So since a lot of these attorneys still are not doing that, and the video production companies don't do that, what do you have to do in order to improve your videos to do that? Well, one of two things. Either you have to, either you have to learn how to do that on your own to create compelling content, which is not that easy to do, or you have to find a video production company that has already done it, tested it, and is proven and has a great track record. Why is that important? You could spend hours, hundreds and thousands of hours doing this all on your own with trial and error. And that's what I did. Years ago, if there was a video production company who did this all for me and knew how to do it, I never would have learned to do all this stuff on my own. I have a full-time job. I'm still a practicing New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer in New York, and I love doing that. However, by creating educational videos, combining education-based marketing with video, I've been able to harness useful information that people want and need to know about. It's very gratifying when somebody calls and says, Mr. Oginski, I want to thank you so much for providing this information. Now, there are attorneys who tried to copy the content and try to copy the techniques that I use, but I will tell you, they will call me and say, Gerry, I tried to copy something you did, but I'm not getting any calls. Can you help me? Well, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why they're not getting calls, because they're missing huge chunks of information as well as things that go on behind the scenes. And a lot of video production companies don't truly understand and have the benefit of the experience of knowing why your online viewer is going to pick up the phone and call. But ask these people, and I've said this many times, I've written many articles about this, do they know who your ideal client is without you having to tell them? Do they know why these people are going online to search for an attorney like you? Do they know what their most frequently asked questions are? And what problems these people have that they need an attorney for, that you can help solve? Now I ask again, here's a critical question that I ask every attorney who is searching for a video production company. If your video producer is unable to determine who is your ideal client and the type of information that they're looking for, how then can they help you create content that's going to compel a viewer to call? Because remember, your video producer and your video production company is supposed to help you create content. And they're going to create content for you. Why? Not just so you can have technically accurate and beautiful, crystal clear video and audio, but more importantly, the content. Why does somebody want to watch? Why are they clicking on that button that says watch now? What is it that's calling them to that? Where is the call to action? What are you asking them to do? Why do they need to watch this stuff? And if you can't accomplish that with the video production company that you're going to be wasting a lot of your time and energy and effort. And that's the problem with most attorneys who create video today. The state of affairs of attorney video in 2010 is awful. It's getting better. Slowly but surely, attorneys are recognizing how important and useful video content is. Within the next few years, the majority of content you're going to find online is going to be video-based. And lawyers who fail to recognize this are going to be way behind the eight ball. So now when a consumer goes online to check you out and to find out if you have information they need to know about, and you don't have educational video that explains things to them about the type of area of law you practice in, they're going to ask themselves, why not? They're going to expect to see you on video, and not just an introductory video says, hi, welcome to my law firm. I'm Joe Schmo. Here's my firm. There's my webpage. Take a look around. People don't care about that. Show them what you have. How do you do that? You do that with education-based marketing. What's that? It's something that a gentleman named David Fry taught me many years ago. Education-based marketing is critical, and it's something that I learned about, and it's something I combined with video when I first started to create these types of videos. I realized many years ago that people wanted more than just a 30-second television ad. They wanted more than just a, hey, come to me because I have an ad in the Yellow Pages, or I've got 30 seconds to tell you how great I am and I've got an 800 number and now you should call me. Nobody does that anymore, and you know what? There's still attorneys who create those type of TV ads, but I always ask people over and over again who watch those ads, I said, let me ask you, how do you distinguish yourself from how do you distinguish yourself from any other lawyer who does the same type of work as you? And lawyers who create that type of commercial or those ads, they're all the same. Yes, one's been in business 20 years, another 25, another 15, another one has success in the millions, another one in the multi-millions. Okay, but they don't help establish or answer the question, why? Why you? Why not him? Why not the next guy who comes on to commercial? These educational videos are so important to help tell the world, and importantly, to help tell your targeted online viewer who's looking for somebody like you, why? It answers that crucial question. So if you can answer that question without giving away legal advice, you are much more likely to get that call. Attorney video is on its way to skyrocketing. It's a great way to tell the world about who you are, what you do, and importantly, how you do it. And if you're not doing it properly, I guarantee you that your competitors will. And if you can't do this now, your competitors will be way ahead of you down the road. Video is the future. It is the best way to market yourself, to get a viewer to see you, to hear you, to begin to trust you before they ever walk into your office, before they ever pick up the phone to call. There is no other form of attorney marketing available that allows you to do that. And you know that by creating an educational video, an attorney video, it costs you absolutely nothing to put these videos up on the video sharing sites. If you're hiring a video production company, yes, it costs money for the initial production costs and to get them up online. But once it's up online, it can be watched 10 times or 1,000,000 times. That's the goal. You want people to recognize and to see your video for a highly targeted audience. And this is the best way to do it. And that's it for today's segment of the state of affairs for attorney videos in the year 2010. I'm Gerry Oginski. Thanks so much for watching.